over to the host.
How you doing? What a great panel. Thank you, experts. We appreciate your knowledge and your participation in TEAS 2022. Please do take a shot, picture, and share it across your LinkedIn. Share that you've been here sharing your knowledge today, elevate your personal brand, and share it with your community. We'd love to have your engagement online, and we loved having you here today talking about operations. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, bye.
Bye. Have a great day. I want to just let you know an unknown quote. Successful teams adapt their workflow while weak teams gripe about how difficult the process is. So if you are not changing and you are not becoming operationally excellent, you are going to be left behind. And you're going to be left behind with those people complaining. So don't let that happen to you. We're live at TEAS 2022. Make sure you are sharing this knowledge. Knowledge is power, and we are giving it to you right here at TEAS 2022. Tongston Entrepreneurial Education Summit 2022. We are here to provide information to everybody, no matter who you are, where you're from, or what side of the planet you may be living. We want to make sure that you have the tools and the resources to grow. So just for a limited time today during our fantastic event, you have the opportunity to go to tongston.com, visit our store, and receive 25% off any of the programs that you may see. Just when you check out, you'll use TEAS 2022 as your promotional code to take advantage of that 25%. This platform has been so engaging and so full of knowledge. Everyone that you can possibly connect with is here and accessible to you. So there are people here that are waiting just to be engaged by you. Make sure you reach out. If you love a host or you love a moderator or you love an expert that you've seen in the last 3 days, we want to know. Take a picture, tag their name, let us know the value that you found. We've gotten great comments and great engagement on that last panel. Thanks. It looks like operations is a lot of people's interest. It is the core of any business. And if you are in this space, learning how to do it more effectively is where you want to play. So we have the next panel coming up. I just want to make sure that during these transitions, if you have some time, we have that scavenger hunt that's going soon, but it looks like our panelists and moderators coming on board. Hello, Bello's back. We're talking about media, my favorite topic, because it's all about engagement, customer engagement, and you guys have a lot of fun stuff and great experts talking about rise of digital media and artificial intelligence in marketing and advertising. Big conversation. I'll let you take it away, Bello, as you moderate this great session.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rachel. I've had to step in for the actual moderator. So I'm generally a backup moderator. So thank you very much for being here. Nahid, Hasan, Edet, Fatima, Aliu. This is a very important topic. It's a very good note to end the session today. So I am going to give you guys first an opportunity to all introduce yourself and your background, and basically what you do within this space of digital marketing and advertising. Starting with you, Nahid. Marketing and advertising.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks for having me. Sure. So, hi everyone who is actually watching us live on this platform. So, this is Nahid Hasan, founder and CEO of Bizcope Digital Limited. So, Bizcope Digital Limited is a digital marketing agency. It started its journey in 2010 from a country named Bangladesh. And right now, we are having 2 offices worldwide. One is in USA and one is in Bangladesh. And we are also having 2 remote team. One is in Philippines and one is in India. We usually help businesses rank their website, getting more customer leads, sales. So we directly work with the growth hack team as well as the growth of any businesses. And as I said, we started in 2010, so definitely we had a huge number of clients we have served. But if we mention few names, Logitech, is one of our client, as well as Pioneer Inc. It's a fintech brand. So we also serving them.
Thank you very much, Naeed. It's very interesting, and I think you were being humble by your introduction and what you are doing generally. Because if you remember when we met in Education 2.0, Marketing 2.0 in Dubai, some few months ago, there was so much that it seems you were doing, but you've kept it simple this time. So it's very much a sign of your humility. Sorted out so that yes, time is not wasted. Next, let me get to Edet. Isiting.
Edet, Isiting, and the CEO and lead creative of Eddywrytes. Eddywrytes is a digital and creative agency where we offer creative services, writing, web development, graphic design, and so Eddywrytes is offers writing services, web development, graphic design, and the rest. And the company started in 2018 after my secondary school education, and we've been building. We have a team of 12 persons across, I think, up to 4 to 5 states in Nigeria. And so we basically help businesses gain visibility via social media and generally digital marketing.
Okay, thank you very much, Eddie. So basically you content write, but also you do digital marketing with various other team members that cut across Nigeria. It's very interesting, actually. And by the way, we have worked with Eddywrytes before. I must say, really true content writer, and also very well aware of the space of digital marketing and all that. Let me just quickly I think definitely this, I said this is a very important topic, especially within enterprise, entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial thinking, and basically everything that happens these days with companies and organizations. So let me get straight into it. In terms of digital marketing, advertising, artificial intelligence, and all of those things, basically, if you can tell me what your experience has been and also what you see happening now, and potentially maybe what you are foreseeing happening in the near future. So past, present, and future. If you may, we'll start with you, Nahid.
Thank you. So it's very good question and very difficult one as well, because you actually wanted to know past, present, future. So let me try to add some insight from my experience. So like from my experience, I will love to share it in a way that is very simple. Whenever we are talking about marketing, it's automation or it's content or whatever we are saying, the customer will come first. Like whatever we are doing, we need to keep in mind that who is our audience, how they think, where they visit, which platform they use most of their time, what is their buying, buying cycle or buying process, how quick they make decision for any specific type of purchase. So all these things were the same, like it's kind of universal, like kind of universal truth. So when we were like when people were developing marketing strategy in 1960 or before that, they were also thinking the same things. Like they were uh, doing the hard work, or doing the checklist to find those answer and develop the strategy on the basis of that. Today the formula is still same and future will be still same. The thing has changed is the platform. Like 50 years back, maybe people are investing more time in the directories, like they were investing, they were actually reading the printed newspaper. uh, so it was a bit generic, but the strategy was same. Right now people have more choice. There are no secret in business anymore. In past, some business could do very well because they had some sort of secrets. People were like, the customer or competitor may not have those information. But right now, if anyone wants to start something, even if they wants to like jump into the pharmaceutical industry or like the aeroplane industry, they can do that. If they have the fund, if they have those like access to fund, they can do that, because there are so many information on the web. They no longer needs to find any secrets or like any hidden things. They just need to make sure that they are implementing in right way. So as the information become very available, the competition increases a lot, and the marketing strategy is being changing, because now it's not about selling, it's about building the relationship by providing those valuable informations. So now it's no longer like showing our ads and getting lots of sale from them. It's more about creating content which will create the relationship. And then nowadays with the influence of social media is not a like one-way communication at all. It's a both-way communications. And in the future, the strategy will keep remain same. Maybe the platform will change. More AI will, like, AI based tools will be there. So they will do the exact same thing. Just they will make our life easy from the marketer point of view. Like there will have so many tools which will help us to get more information about our audience, like how they feel at the like at early morning, and how they feel at noon, and how they feel after office hour, what's their behavior, and all those small details can be tracked and analyzed as well. So it's simple. We need to understand the psychology. We need to understand the algorithm of digital tools what we're using right now, and we need to uh, identify the use of those tools and analyzing data and take decision on the basis of that. Sorry, I took little
Yeah,
long
no,
time to answer
no,
this.
very clear actually. I think from everything you said, it seems like you are alluding to probably the fact that before it's been very traditional and manual in a way, but now it has transformed to based on data that you have of people. The platforms obviously have changed, and now we are heading towards a time where there will be a lot of automation. So that based on all this data that has been derived from users, from your end customer, almost like you're thinking ahead of what they will like in the future, and you're already tying your adverts and marketing to them, right?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. And Eddie, same question. What you see from your experiences in marketing and advert, especially digitally or traditional, as it's just established now, and what you see happening now, and then in the near future, what you foresee to be happening within this space.
All right. The thing is, the first speaker already mentioned it all. Marketing and advertising strategies have been the same since time immemorial. It's just the platform that changed, the method, the attitudes change. Our understanding of customer relation changes. And the thing is this, content is just a way of communicating. And beyond content, it is your promise. Your content is your promise. So what is changing is how you are keeping that promise. And for you to keep a promise, you have to have understood your customers. And there's something called the customer journey. So what is changing is the way we go through this customer journey, the processes that we go through to understand our customers, the data available, AI software that are available. And an interesting fact is for you to even be able to navigate through AI, especially as a content writer, you must first of all have a background knowledge on writing, background knowledge on your customer. Because at the end of the day, when this AI produces a result for you, if you don't have that knowledge, you won't be able to distinguish between what will be suitable for your customers and what wouldn't. So in future terms, it will still remain the same as he has said. It is just the accessibility of information and communication tools will be better equipped, and it will enable business owners to communicate and interact better with their customers, be able to read customer intentions, create more customer friendly product and services, and basically stay in touch with your customers real time, right? So that is what would change marketing and advertising wise in the future.
Yeah. I think you're similarly to what I think Nahid has said. Well, I picked up something very important that you said that kind of is common ground with what he has said and what you're saying, Eddie, which is content. Basically, you did talk about also the data from other from your users being a tool to leverage on for marketing, but content very important, and it's one of the things we really wanted to also address with this topic. I've heard a quote somewhere that says, content is king. And I think many of the personal brands that we see in the internet space on YouTube, Instagram, like Gary Vaynerchuk, for instance, Grant Cardone to a certain extent, and a few of these people that are really leveraging on their personal brand to build enough content that will lead their audience to their businesses. They very much leverage on content and connecting with their end users. So my question is to you: um, how much is personal branding important to really achieving marketing for your business, and also how much is content important to achieving the same thing? Or are they similar, or how do you use both to make sure that you really get your customers really into your marketing funnel or your sales funnel?
Sure. So, like, if I answer it in one sentence, then
I will address.
Uh, okay, sorry, Eddie. Can we get from Nahid first, and then
Okay.
yourself? And I see Fatima is back
Okay.
also.
No.
sure. So it's very important because people loves to connect with people rather than brands. So even when we are talking about brands, like for example Google, Microsoft, are all the big brands, but we still love to know like what their top management are doing, like how they live. Like if you uh, see all those big brands, people have lots of curiosity, like when actually Bill Gates wakes up, and how many books they read in each day or each month, what's their food habits and all those things, and those influence their audience actually. So people loves to be connected with the uh, like people who are behind the brands. So in that point of view, personal branding is really important, and it's even much more easier to connect with the audience from the brand page. Like if you think about the digital channels, like brand page versus personal profile. So personal profile will always get the maximum traction because it's more personalized, and it doesn't needs to be like very commercial or corporate in looks. It can be very casual. It can they can post anything, and that will actually help to have the relationship with the audience. If we think about from the sales point of view, like in a sales meeting, and we're just stepping into the sales meeting and started talking about pricing and everything, that will not work. What we do, we start with the regular talks, like how are you feeling today, what's the weather, like what's the condition of the weather there. So same thing happened with the personal branding as well. So when we are having personal branding, the business advantage you are getting same or even more, because we have more opportunity, more tools to be connected with the audience, know from them, and drive traffic from one page to another page. And if we want to get the advantage of those personal branding, definitely again we need to add value to our audience. We need to identify to whom we are actually going to brand ourselves, because like if you think about the big brands, they have multiple brands, and the founder of that brands may have a different audience in terms of personal branding. But when we are a small business owner, like we started something 2, 3, or 4 years back, and we want to invest time and money in personal branding, maybe the goal will be different as well. So we don't need to follow big brands all the time, because that is also one of the key mistakes I have seen when we work with lots of small and medium businesses. They always follow big brand. So in big brand, even the top management who are doing personal branding, they have many stakeholders. They do some sort of activities to make sure that their investors are happy. They do some sort of activities to make sure that their stakeholders are happy. They do some of the activities to make sure that their teammates are happy, and some are really actually adding value in the business. So if small and medium businesses and the founder is actually going to follow those big brand blindly, what they will do, they will start creating some sort of brand. They will start investing some money on personal branding, but they will burn out it very fast before they get any direct advantage. So we need to think first, like what's our condition. We have limited resource right now. We don't have any things to convince our investor. Maybe we don't have any investor at that point of time. Maybe we don't have any complex board of directors, all those complex structure. So those are very important, because I have seen many businesses completely follow all those big brands, burn out their all of their money in personal branding, and at the end, yeah, many people know them, but if you check the business growth, they were unable to utilize the maximum advantage from those personal branding activities.
Yeah, yeah. I think very much, Nahid. I always say, when typically people make the confusion between marketing and sales, as you said, some people really build on personal branding to get marketing out there, but does it really translate to sales? That's the other question we need to ask, And as much as you are leveraging on yourself to get people into your own business, sometimes that may not really be the case, or sometimes you may get too lost into your personal brand and forget the business brand itself. So I definitely relate and see what you mean there. Eddie, yourself, same question. How much of leverage on personal branding versus also, in fact, you can link it to content creation that will lead to business profitability, if I can say that, or business impact.
Okay, thank you, sir. I will use a practical example. On my social media, when whether Facebook or Instagram or even LinkedIn, when I make posts of myself showing my face, whether it is formal or casual, I tend to get more engagement than when it is a graphic design without any human feeling around it. So people tend to connect with people. People are emotional, so they tend to connect with fellow humans better than a branded message or a design. And even videos work instead of design because there's a voice behind it. So people connect with that emotion in the voice, that emotion in the image they see. And when you bring this to writing, a lot of content writers have this attitude of putting their faces there because they understand the power of personal branding. When you write as an individual, Edet, Isiting, people will relate with you better than when you write as a company, Eddywrytes, because they know me, they know Edet, Isiting, they have interacted with me on a one-on-one basis. They have seen me physically, they have chatted me up, they have listened to my voice notes and all of that. So they know how I sound and they know that I can get hurt and they know that I have emotions. But for a business, when you are just strictly branding as a business without any human feeling behind it, people tend to have this reservation because they do not trust it first, because there's so many adulterated content online. So if you're coming out without putting yourself as an individual out there, there's the tendency that you would not get the attention that you need as quick as you need it.
Yeah, I see what you mean, Edith. I think there's a common saying where it says that people really prefer to do business or transact with who they know, who they understand, and who they trust. And it's easier to get those things in a human being than a logo of a company and corporation and all of that. As you were speaking, I was just remembering something that somebody told me when I was setting up Tongston first, and was saying that more of the content of Tongston and marketing of Tongston needs to be me coming in front of the camera and talking and all of that, rather than the other things that we use. So maybe that is something actually now it's being reinforced in my mind to probably explore very soon. I think in order to get the result that you're talking about, Eddie, which you have experienced. Fatima, you're back now. Let's see if we can hear you.
Okay, hello. Can you hear me now? So
What's
the
going on?
the thing was actually with my headphones. Sorry, I was trying to keep my voice down. So I could hear most of the conversations actually. It's just I couldn't speak. So yes, thank you very much. I know I was in the process of introducing myself, but before I do that, I really want to comment on the point that was being made because this is something that is very dear to me. Because I talk to a lot of small businesses, a lot because what people don't know is there's a lot more small businesses than there are big businesses actually. And a lot of people in business, as small business owners, think that the road to marketing and sales is lots of money. You know, you just lots of money, you pump it down that sales funnel, and then you have a lot of results at the end. But it's like everybody said, so maybe I don't need to over reiterate it, is that what people actually connect more with is something that is more personal. And then there's something that was said to me very early today regarding the work that we're doing when we're trying to make find engagement with the programs that we're running. And it was said that, there's such a scramble for people's attention. There is so much. There, you can imagine, let's say 15, 20, maybe 30 years ago, right? It was one kind of media, one kind of content. You take it or you leave it, right? Now there's so much avenue for a person or brand, corporation, whatever you are, a service provider, right, to reach your customers and to have that engagement and be personalized. So people don't have to, be looking at the static logo or a big business as it is, right? Because you can connect on that one-on-one level. Very recently, I was reading a post on social media following the makeup gurus because I like them a lot. And it was said that actually big brands, I'm not going to mention the names of the brands, there were content creators on YouTube who were making more money, had more consistent engagement than these big brands themselves, who have been in business for years, 10, 20 years, and so on. So yes, I think especially now that there is this I was saying to somebody, there's just like this hunger for live streaming. People want something real time, right? If you look at the history of YouTube, at one point it was pre-recorded content. People would watch it, people would like it, whatever. And now the craze is now, oh, I'm watching this happening live. That's all the rave everybody's talking about. So you see, response marketing, that's where we're going. And response marketing works so well with personalized marketing, if you know what I mean. It's better when you're speaking to someone and you're speaking to the person in real time. And we even see big brands, they're stepping down their images as big brands and maybe working with spokespersons on the side, having to create, a more personable image that they know would appeal to customers on the other end. So yes, that's what I'm going to add. By the way, I'm Fatima, and I am the CEO of Castle Media. Currently, I work with Tongston Media as the assistant manager. And in fact, I have delved in so many kinds of media that I think that if I had to go through everything, it should be so much. But thank you so much for being patient with me.
Thank you very much, Fatima. And I think something you said very important that I see or that I'm learning. Even I learned today in different other panels, which is that currency really there are different types of currencies. One of the panels that we talked about, I mean that we were in earlier, said impact is a currency. Somebody said, of course, money is normally a currency. Another person mentioned, now I've forgotten, some other form of currency. But from what you're saying is that attention is also a currency, especially within the digital media space. And this leads me very much to, I think, the next, because we talked about, um, you know, so something to do with how you actually use or seek for that currency. A very big dilemma that we have right now in the digital space, and this is a very mega question. All three of you can answer from your own perspective and your views. Number one, artificial intelligence, right? We see how when you go on a website, you will notice that Facebook gets all this data from you, and then once you go on a Facebook related page or WhatsApp or Instagram, you then see that almost like the platform has learned what you are interested in and is feeding you back. So that can be a good or a bad thing because advertisers will think that, okay, I want to just push this content to this person because he has indicated some kind of interest in it in one way or the other. So I'm serving his needs. But then, and we've seen this when, in the US also with Facebook, and I think even Mark Zuckerberg was invited to answer to a panel of the Senate and in investigation and things like that to answer such questions, which is that how much or how okay is it to mine data and feed that data to an artificial intelligence and basically even storing that data for other uses, you know. So from a perspective of policy, here's my question as a government or policy making. Um, what should be allowed basically in terms of artificial intelligence and marketing? Is there a fine line between what should be done and what should be tolerated versus what should not be tolerated, or regulation and policy making should really um, be in charge of this? So that dilemma, basically, what's your views on this? Because more and more we're going into artificial intelligence and automated marketing, if I can say that, just for the sake of this thing that Fatima mentioned, which is attention as a currency. So, Nahid, I know it's a very mega question, but your view will be very important because some of our participants are also from the public sector, they are in government, and so they may be faced with these situations to make laws and regulations. So, Nahid first.
Sure. So, like from mind, again, I want to make it very like very simple. That there are certain things will come into the picture, and we have no like even we if we want to control that, but we can't control them. So that will come, that will move ahead, and that will, in some ways, make our life easy, and some ways make our life complex. So if we think from the artificial intelligence point of view, and if I connect it with the marketing, business, and all those area, uh, it is actually not going to create lots of challenges for the people who can build a strategy, who can learn faster, and who is beyond day-to-day routine work. So what these artificial intelligence are doing, actually, they are actually collecting data. People were collecting data in past manually. So collecting data is not something new which came into the picture in 2020 or 2021. It was like if we go to 100, 200, or even 1,000 years back, it was there, but it was manual. So people were like manually collecting those data. Now tools actually made those things easy. So now the people who were collecting those data manually 100 years back, so whenever something happened, they actually changed their like way of doing job. So they actually adapted with that, with the changes. Yeah, that there was some struggling time, 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, but as a from the human nature point of view, they will find a solution there. So these artificial intelligence are making our lives easy as a marketer. But again, one human brain is there that needs to be done, because if it was all about AI, then all the business will be profitable. All the business will make millions of dollars. They will like, everyone is going to take those subscription. Hey, I know these tools, so use these AI and pay the subscription and make sure that we are getting lots of sales in our business. That is not going to happen, because there will be some brain needed behind those AI. They needs to build a strategy on the basis of all those data the AI is actually generating and organizing, and they're using those AI tools to execute in some ways as well. So like it will happen in some sensitive cases, maybe like the government of different countries may try to control it on the basis of that. But it will on the picture, and the sooner we can adapt it, the best we can do in long run. We need to take advantage of this AI rather than like counting AI is a like drawback for our growth, or like many of our growth. So that is my view. Also, I want to give you one example. Like, I'm not so sure are you aware about it or not. Like recently there is a bridge, like Podda Bridge, we call it Podda Bridge. So it's a big river, and we had a bridge there. The construction of this bridge was actually happening for last 5, 6, or 7 years, and the people around that bridge, like the traditional way when the ferry were there to like cross the bus, the river. So the people connected with those traditional way, they knew that when the bridge will be there, this ferry is no longer going to be a need for those vehicles. So all the job or earning opportunities around those ferry is going to be vanish just after the opening of those bridges. So some people were very smart, and they started taking preparation in well ahead. They were looking for an alternate earning opportunities. Some people were actually waiting to for the very last moment. Even they knew that the construction started there, so the bridge will be there, a vehicle is no longer going to depend on those ferry, but they were still waiting, like, okay, when the bridge will open, then I will think about the next step. And at the before finding the next step, they were struggling. So same thing will happen with artificial intelligence. It will be there. I'm actually taking lots of advantage of that. Like, if I share, I've seen some comments that some people are talking about some sort of tools. So I use Hrefs. So that's the tools to find any website's traffic data, like how many websites, how many traffic those websites are actually getting from which source, I mean from Google, for which keywords. So I'm utilizing those tools and actually we're making my strategy. So there is some AI tools for content writing. So again, content writing AI tools, maybe not the complete replacement of educative articles, because those needs human touch, experience, and all those things. But for short description, social media content, that could be a very good tool. So the people who were writing and were focusing on those short social media content creation, 100 or 150 words content, and were actually making money of that, they're going to suffer. But the people who actually work the extra mileage and develop themselves, that they can produce those content which is very reader friendly, because the AI tools will also have lots of limitation as well, like how developed it is, but it can't completely think like human, and that is the advantage we need to take.
Wow, very important. The human side of AI basically is not there, right? So we need to be very much aware of it, so that whatever we're feeding it, we know that the impact or result is going to lead to something related to another human being, which that particularly, unless advanced technology has built in some kind of conscience within the AI, that will be very much, a challenge for its decision making. So Fatima, same question to you.
Hope you can hear me now. Sorry, each time I need to speak, I need to take out my headphones, so you'll be seeing more of that. So, yes, I 100% agree with Mr. Nahid. I mean, content, there are some places that definitely AI, there's no way we can compete with them. And then there are other places that there's no way AI can compete with us, right? But I'm going to start answering your question with a documentary that I saw recently, just to kind of point out that there is some good with artificial intelligence and the amount of data they have gathered over the years. They were looking at life after death, and they were saying, because it's a documentary, it's very hypothetical, but one of the hypotheses was that in the near future, when people die, we can resurrect them, literally, because all their information is online, and so they can have enough to remake the person and then represent the person to their loved ones. In fact, it was so crazy when they used the AI voice thing to recreate the woman's personality. It could make the same kind of jokes, it had the same nuances that she had. So yeah, in some ways it scares me when I think about AI. So much that can be done with it, and in another way, yeah, there's just some things that AI can't take away. But to answer the question on privacy and what government should do about it, it's I would like to say that a lot of us give out this information on the platter of good. We give it to Google, we give it to, okay, maybe I should not mention other names, but we give it to these tech corporations, and they then in turn sell it to us, who are people in the front of digital marketing. So actually, I'm going to play devil's advocate, because I could be speaking from both ends of the table, right? As a user, right, I don't want my data. I don't want all my data out there. I would prefer to keep it, but sometimes I have to give it out, right? But as a digital marketer, that data is gold, because when we have it, we can properly market to you. We can properly, lead you where we want you to be at different points with the sales funnel that I keep talking about. So that data is so important, but at the same time, it's so unfair, right? I have had many instances where we have done campaigns, and then the person will be like, yes, I know I wanted this, but I don't want it anymore. Like, this is so much, now you're badgering me, but in terms of government coming in to step in to kind of curb this, I really don't see this happening. I mean, not anytime soon, especially now that tech corporations are becoming so powerful. I'm sorry, a time will come when with the whole, what's it called, metaverse, what's the web 4.0, whatever it's called, right? A time will come, these corporations will be so powerful that they in themselves will be governments, and they will be laying down the rules. And we, both the marketers and the people and advertisers and all bunch of people, all of us will have to answer to them. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to say regarding data and digital marketing. On one hand, like Nahid said, there is so much good that can come out, but it saves time. It gets the job done. It gets the job done well and on a bigger scale, right? And on the other hand, it can kind of be unfair, to the person that we're taking the data from. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I see what you mean, Fatima, and it is a very big concern to some people that are the big digital media companies bigger? Will they reach a point where they are bigger than certain governments? And if so, will we be more comfortable with their own regulation and all that? Speaking of fair, there's a very important question. I know we have overshot the time, but there's a very important question I need to ask to wrap up this. Okay, Eddie is back also. I don't know, Eddie, if you got the question that I asked them earlier, if you can just quickly tell us what you think about it before I ask the final question.
Okay, I was able to pick out some of what the co-speaker said.
I think I see what you mean, Fatima,
the thing is, AI and data acquisition, there's a good and there's a bad part to it, right? Ms. Fatima mentioned something about not wanting to give out our data, right? And nobody wants his or her privacy to be invaded. That's why most websites go through the stress of creating privacy policies. So you are giving it out conveniently, you are giving it out with consent, right? You are giving them power consent to use your data. Now, the bad side of this is most times this AI pick your data without a prior consent from you. I know how many times I received emails from websites that I did not willingly subscribe to, and it can be provoking to an extent, right? So, but on the other hand, as a digital creator, I need this data to build my business. This is what I need to do: strategic marketing, to target the right set of people and to segment who needs a particular service, who does not need a particular service. So it's a two-way thing. There's the good and there's the bad side to it. What we need to do as business owners, as content writers, is to be strategic about how we use this data collected by AI when we are marketing with it.
Yeah, thank you, Eddie. Very important point that it's not about collecting the data, it's about what we use the data for actually. As I said, speaking of being fair, this panel won't conclude until I ask this question, very important, and it's the final question. It's in quick response you can give us, please. In schools, in the education system, we learn marketing. In the basic education, we learn under business studies, under commerce. In the national curriculum, there are things called marketing they are subjects or units of marketing. At tertiary level, some take a degree in marketing, typically. I have my views on that really you don't, maybe let my views not affect yours, but I would typically say that you don't need a 4-year degree to learn marketing and spend all the tuition fee. But for anybody that wants to learn marketing, especially as of now and in the future, what is the most important thing that they need to learn or master to actually perform within the space of digital marketing right now and also in the near future, so that they become valuable employees, but also valuable employers potentially. One, it can be a knowledge, a skill, or attitude, just one most important one to learn and master.
So if I say the only one, I will say psychology, like how human react on any circumstance. But if you allow, I want to add 2 or 3 more words. So it's
Yes,
marketing.
yes.
Yeah, so it's psychology. Second is data, uh, and third is like I would say copywriting from marketing point of view, because the use of word is very important. So these are 3 really very I would say like powerful skills. If someone can develop that, they will do very good in marketing, because all the tools and algorithm will come later. It will keep changing, but these 3 things is something, it will be with you for such a long time, or I know that till you die. So it will be with you, and if you can utilize those with the algorithm or digital tools will be available at that point of time, you will do very good in marketing.
Excellent. So for Nahid, it's data,
Psychology, yeah, psychology, data,
psychology, data, and copywriting, right?
copywriting. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Fatima?
Hopefully you can hear me. Okay. So yeah, if I had to pick one thing, I think I would go a little bit in the direction that Nahid is going, but I would say it's, if you wanted to really do well as a digital marketer, you need to put yourself in the end user's shoes. I mean, that I think that's fundamental beyond every other skill that you can learn, the software, the copywriting, because I feel like sometimes digital marketers are so caught up in the campaign, right? And then we forget that we're campaigning because we want people to react in a certain way, and hopefully in a favorable way, right? I remember earlier and I'm going to keep it short, I promise. In the early years of when I was started digital marketing, we would just come up in a round table, we just come up with bogus campaigns. Let's do a Twitter ton, let's do something, right? But then we forget that, it doesn't matter how good you think the campaign is, if you don't understand how the person is going to react, where the person is from, what the person values, I think that there is no point. So beyond every other skill that you're learning, I think it's just smart to be emotionally intelligent about who you're speaking to, about, and about what you want and what you're expecting from the campaign. So that's what I'm going to say. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Fatima. Obviously, part of emotional intelligence is something called social awareness. So that's what you're talking about. In a way, also, it's connected to what Nahid said, which is psychology, understanding how other people are thinking and reacting to things. Eddie, for you?
Okay, for me, I totally agree with Nahib and Fatima's opinion. And for me, it's 2 things: branding and consistency. Branding is beyond content. Branding is your tone. How do you address your audience? Branding is how you keep your promises to your audience. Branding is your approach to everything about your business. So branding is how does your audience identify you? How do you stand out from the rest of the crowd? So that must be learned and understood into marketing. The second thing for me is consistency. There's this habit of you starting, and after the pressure of not getting as much visibility as you have invested time in to get, you feel demotivated to carry on. So a lot of writers and creators generally seem to take this as at that point in time that they give up. So stay consistent, have a good brand and stay consistent, build your brand consistently, be consistent with your messages, be consistent with the kind of thing that you put out there, and be consistent in showing yourself as an individual out there as a professional.
Thank you very much, Eddie. So basically, the most important things to be an excellent marketer today and in the future: psychology, data, copywriting, social awareness / customer understanding, if I can call it that, be understanding your customer, branding, and consistency, finally. So thank you very much all. On that note, Thank you very much, Nahid, Fatima, Eddie. This has been very wonderful, a very absolute good way to cap this long 3-day summit. We are going to just round up now with Rachel, and then ultimately we are going to round up, and hopefully the audience has really gotten as much as possible from this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bello.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me.